Yeah, but those are the most fun. You get the best costumes, all the toys, all that good stuff.
Well, it's just the escapism as well, you know. Just when I was a kid, I loved all the quest stuff and all the like, sci-fi and quest basically were the things that I loved when I was a kid. But,
yeah.
Yeah, you get the toys. I have the worst toy out of any actor of all time. I don't know if you've ever seen the Prince Caspian action figure.
I haven't seen the action figure, no.
It is the worst action figure there's ever been made of anyone ever. If you're watching this and that sparks your interest, Google it. It doesn't look anything like me. It looks like a 5-year-old made it.
Well, at least it got an action figure though.
That is true. But it's like my life quest now to do something else where I get an action figure because I have to fix it.
You can't let that be the only one.
I have to make up for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Otherwise, on my IMDb, it will say trivia has the worst action figure of all time, and then I can't have that.
Hey, but IMDb is self-edited, man. So there you go. Just hop on there and.
I don't know. I wouldn't have the first clue where to start with that. Someone else will have to do it for me.
But speaking of Prince Caspian, that was your first, kind of major role that you had. So what do you remember? But obviously it was kind of a long time ago. What do you remember most?
Yeah, I mean, well, my first ever film job was also fantasy, which was Stardust. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so on Caspian, obviously played Prince Caspian. What do you remember about those films? Because obviously with Prince Caspian, I'm losing my memory on the second one, but on Prince Caspian, you were the title character and a pretty big part of that film.
Yeah, no, well, but both the second and third, I was in sort of the whole thing, and it was pretty magical experiences, to be honest. I was doing like stage work in London, and I'd done like a few days on films here and there, but never really anything where it was sort of your full-time job. And then to sort of fly out to New Zealand and do all the horse training and the sword training and the stunts and I was working with like a dialect coach, and sort of meeting all the cast, and I'd seen the first film. So to me, these kids were just those kids. Right. And, it was just as a sort of life adventure, which I think is, just as important as kind of what you end up making in the end in terms of the experience of what you put into it. And they were just incredible from that point of view. Like, we started in New Zealand and then we ended up shooting the rest of it in Prague in Europe, and they built these castles. And I remember thinking, I was only cast 2 months ago. This must have taken 6 months to build. It must have. They built a castle, a whole castle, and I just remember thinking how staggering a job this can be, and how important it is to like retain that sort of childlike wonder about how you approach doing the job, because that's how I watch stuff, and that's how people interpret, I think, what you're doing, especially if it's in a sci-fi fantasy kind of realm. You want to be taken away on a spaceship or taken away on a on that kind of journey. You want to put the ring on and disappear,
Yeah.